Hi everyone, welcome in my pre-scene analysis for December 2024 for Strategic Business Leadership Exam, which is applicable for December 24 attempt, right? We got event management industry, a service sector, and what I believe is generally what I see is a service sector is more difficult, right? Generally, a service sector I believe is a difficult one. Therefore, I would recommend everyone the questions that belongs to service sector, you should be doing it, right? Just like Cogets, this is a question, NC Tech, TT for you. I have solved these in my regular classes, these questions. So these are basically a service sector related question, although the industry is different. This is event management, where this is airline, this is NC Tech, there's TT for you. It's a software deliverance kind of a company. So would be recommending you to at least read answers for that as well, right? At least read answers of examiner for these sectors because they might relate, right? So far, we have covered the introduction. We have covered the Harlan's events management industry, and apart from that, we particularly got to know about types of event, right? We got to know about types of event. Now, what do we have? And I'm making a notes as well. Some of the students just texted me that, sir, can we get your notes of particularly of annotated notes. So once I have completed the analysis, I'll obviously be sharing the annotated notes, no problem. See, we were the Rodney events, right? And so far, we haven't got any information of Rodney events. Till now, we have particularly got types of clients, right? Corporate clients. We till now we have got about the industry. So if you have got about the industry, you must have to get the detail, right? So far in the industry, we know the overview, the total global industry, Harlan's industry, and we calculated also some numbers, right? And that could relate us in our. So now, types of clients. One is corporate clients, one is private clients, one is public sector clients. In the previous classes, I told you the revenue or profit by product, right? Revenue or profit by product is important. Similarly, because I belong to a corporate career, and I've been doing these analysis because I was an analyst in my roles. So revenue or profit is important, byproduct is important, and similarly, revenue or profit by client is also important, right? You should be knowing like which of the clients are highly profit making. And similarly, you should be knowing which of the clients are not that much profit making, right? So you must have an idea that's what exactly you must have an idea, should have an idea like what exactly is the revenue or profit by product and revenue or profit by client, right? And therefore, they have given you the data. So, what will help us if we know this? You could do the right decisions. You could go in right directions, right decisions, right directions. You could go it accordingly. Did you get this? Did you get this? Now, types of client is corporate clients. Now, how is corporate clients for event management? They will be doing some conferences. They will be doing kind of in sports events. These are majorly the corporate clients. In fact, I remember I worked in ICI as well. In every weeks or two, there was particularly an event managed by HR or someone. So they were kind of an event managers, and they have to arrange those events for different businesses. So now that's a corporate client. So HR itself doesn't do anything. They hire a planner, but in those planner, they know that ICI is our permanent client. So they charge us a fee for every event they do. So that means if you have that much corporate clients, you will get your reputation improved. You will get your things improved. You'll particularly get multiple other references. So these are the factors that corporate clients are kind of an important role in particularly to this industry, right? So is dominated by corporate clients. Now these kind of workings, right? If someone is dominating, so I believe the margins here might be low. I don't know. We'll be reading it again. But if someone is dominating, guys, so the thing is that margins can be get impacted. And the pointers that I'm making here, you could relate those pointers in the answers of the questions that you see in the exam, right? Because I'm analyzing the pre-scene. So you can comment on that based on the pre-scene, we see this, right? So, who are organizations which require management of music concerts, conferences, sports, and increasingly virtual events? See, the corporate clients are highly focusing on this is what we can see in our today's world as well. The corporate clients are highly focusing on virtual events, right? So therefore, in the previous industry statistics, they told us that's if you are seeing the virtual industry, they might grow more here, right? They might grow more and more here. Now, this has been the situation for many years and is not expected to change significantly in the future, right? So this has been the situation for many years, and it's not that much changing. The good thing is that they are telling you that what will change and what isn't. This is good thing, right? These are the good things that if they are saying you that this won't change, right? So that means you know where to focus on and where isn't, right? Private clients, it's simple, who employ an event management business to manage private events such as weddings and parties. So private clients are kind of a small detailing they have given you regarding that, right? Now we have public sector clients. What's that? So apart from corporate clients, we have public sector organization as well, right? The government owned organizations made for public, right? So they also organize the events, and if you kind of manage these, you'll get the government association, right? Your reputation will increase, right? You are associated with the governmental organizations, and your PR would also increase. You would market the self, right? You have managed that event as well, so your CV gonna be increasing, your customer base would improve. Why? Because you are managing a larger event, right? Just think of the marriage planners of Ambani. They would have added on in their CV, right, that we have managed that events, like they were pre-wedding, ad wedding, post wedding. I don't know what weddings as well. So the thing is that if you particularly have any sector or any industry tycoon or anyone who is managing or who you have managed itself for an event, so that means your references are strong, your CV is strong, and you can get more clients based on that, right? Any questions still here, guys? Please ask. My WhatsApp number is with you, and we are detailing a little more, so I'll be making more and more parts so we can analyze each. Yeah. So public sector clients we were discussing, right? Like it will improve all of these things. And public sector includes government conferences discussing particular policy. Yeah, if there's a conference of policy, so that also I'll be seeing as uh, a government event, right? And major sports events in which governments are involved, and national festivals, like kind of any festival that's celebrated at a longer or larger level by government, right? So these are the events, and if someone has managed these events, like major people are being catered, right? So that means major people are being catered here. Did you get this, huh? So recently, the national government has engaged several events management businesses to run a series of virtual conferences. And see, here again, they are highlighting that out of their clients or this industry clients, corporate clients, and public sector clients, are preferring virtual conferences. So there's a highly a chance that a requirement on importance or benefits or anything regarding virtual, or might be cost as well, regarding virtual conferences can be tested, right? So that means anything regarding virtual conference can be tested. And the reason is that they are highly focusing on getting its importance. And you need to have an idea as well that where this number is going to be. You must have to quote like the impact. The dominating clients like corporate are focused on virtual events. So there's a high chance and this could also lead to a disruptive technology, as any event planner cannot hold the virtual events or cannot manage the virtual events as well. Huh? You need an expertise in that. Huh? I hope you believe you need an expertise in that as well, right? So this is particularly the case of virtual events and all, right? And this can be the requirement, and virtual event itself can be a disruptive technology. Virtual event management, right, itself can be a disruptive technology. Okay, so this is particularly the case of it. Then we have yeah, all three types of clients in Harlan are increasingly expecting events management business to provide creative and innovative ideas, right? So there's a pressure of the work as well. There's a pressure of the work as well. So wherever the pressure comes, you must be thinking of employees, right? Because you need the employees who think out of the box. They have to think out of the box. The thing is, because they have innovative ideas, they have creative ideas, they have events business management businesses. So they have to think innovatively, right? To ensure that well managed and meet the specific requirements, and a professional level of service throughout the events management process is also expected. So a professionalism is also required. Again, how your employee deals with client, that's important, right? And obviously, this information wouldn't be at industry level, because catering the industry level employees are difficult. But yeah, particularly the employees at not at the industry level, but yes, on a company level can be dealt here, right? Now, breakdown of fee income generated by these is illustrated below. So 73%, and I guess this is Harlan's event, right? This is Harlan's event. So 73% revenue is being generated by corps, 23% revenue is being generated by government, and 4% is private individuals. So guys, you know that where your business can develop, you know the growing market of virtual industry, and you also know the growing demand of corporate clients. So this is the idea to plot on. Like if they ask about the new business opportunity, you can comment on this, right? If they ask about any new business opportunity, you can comment on it. Now, what to comment here? You can simply comment that corporate clients' market share is great, right? And they prefer virtual events. So, any event planner who deals in this is an auto successful mode, right? Who is good in it. So, he is an, or it is an in auto successful mode. Guys, did you get this point? This is really important feature, I believe. This is really an important feature, I believe. Now, collaboration and cooperation. Now, what's that? There might be a collaboration between different event planners. So you can have it. You can know about that as well. So larger events management businesses operate completely independently. However, smaller businesses within the industry sometimes informally collaborate with each other to strengthen their collective bargaining power of market. Now, again, an important thing. And guys, I would be taking this much time on every page because this is your case, right? We have to spend that. So larger is particularly clients never collaborates. The thing is, larger clients never collaborates, whereas smaller clients collaborate to improve their to improve their bargaining position. So this is what particularly these clients can have. The larger clients wouldn't be collaborating with each other because there is an issue of integrity, there's an issue of and independence also matters. They want to work independently, right? The larger clients want to work independently, whereas smaller clients can help together, like couple of things of the events to be done by them, couple of things of the events to be done by them. So this is how things can go. Now, for instance, an events management business specializing in managing sports events may refer the clients which plans to hold a music concert to another event management business specializing in managing music concert. This referral would be reciprocated if the opportunity arose. Now, what's that? What's that? You have to have an idea of it, like what they have said, that an event management business specializing in managing sports. Like if there is an event management business who deals in sports management, got a client who wants to have a music concert, but their expertise in sports management. So what they'll do, either they'll do by themselves for the first time, or will refer to an event management business that's specializing in music concerts. Guys, these both are the separate products, right? Either you have the team which deals in sports, then you have another team which deals in weddings, then you have another team which deals in music, right? So either there can be a team segmentation as well, either there can be a team segmentation by product or by client. These are the things to think on. Again, these are the industry statistics. So you should be knowing that what is your industry statistics. You should be having an idea, right? And if there is only one product that you offer, so if a client of a music concert came to us, we'll be referring to that. And these alliances, yeah, alliances also is an important thing now. See, different event planner can align together for referrals. This is also an important thing. Different event planners can get themselves aligned for reference. Like if someone of the music came to you, I'll refer to you. If someone of the wedding came to you, kindly refer it to me, right? So these alliances also work here, huh? So more strategic alliances and joint ventures. Oh yes, here we have the joint ventures as well. We have the joint ventures in this sector, but these tend to be between complementary rather than competitive business. So these alliances are complementary, right? Because we have too much segmentation of products. There are so many different types of product. So you need your joint ventures. Now let me explain. I have operated a school, let's say, and that caters to a middle class person, like whose fees is 1,000 or 2,000 PKR. But then a complete list of people, those who want to pay more, those who think that if they pay more, they'll get more. Their student will be, their children will be much more educated than the ones those who are charging 1,000 and 2,000. So that means a same school has opened its high class branch, or let's say with other name. So now the parent who was not coming to that branch because of low fees will go to this branch, but they both are the same. Yeah, the management, the looks, the building, the teacher criteria, the things would be different. And in fact, the teaching would be different. The service would be different as well. But they both are the same thing, the joint venture or the collaboration or the alliances. Similarly, these businesses do. They either do the alliances or open the joint ventures to make sure that each and every business is being catered, right? And this can include an events management business having exclusive access to venues, by a property management company for access to temporary and casual staff to manage security at event. Now see this point, huh? See this point that this can include an event management business having exclusive access, right? So this can include an events management business who have access to venues, right? And then a company who have access to security. So these alliances can be made. Huh? See, the alliances with can be made who have access to venues, so that we don't have to take care of the venue. This will arranged by our this alliance. Who have access to staff, so we don't have to take care of the staff or the clerical staff or the labor staff. This alliance will do that. If they have access to, let's say, guards, so we don't have to take arrange guards, this allows to do that. So these are the criteria or industry insights happening in the industry, right? This is thing, these are happening in the industry. These are the things that are happening in the industry, right? Guys, so far we have covered the major area pertaining, I believe, pertaining to industry. We are left with risk, and then we are left with technological innovations. We are left with KPIs, and we are left with industry body. So far, if you have any question in this industry, please don't hesitate to ask, right? Please don't hesitate to ask. And yes, so far, the analysis of the pre-scene that I have made, I have already seen this, that this particular topic, risk and technology, these are always tested, right? So I'll be writing it here as well, that risks and technological aspect, we'll be writing a greater extent of questions if I get an idea, but technological extent, they both are always tested, right? They both are always tested, right? So these are the things. If you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we can move on to industry related risk, because my target for this session is to close the industry so we can have 2-3 more sessions for particularly the company Rodnim, and we relate the industry with the Rodnim. So before knowing Rodnim, we need to know that where Rodnim operates, and you know it well now. Yeah. So let's discuss the industry related risk now. Whatever the questions were, I have received on the WhatsApp and I've replied. They were particularly specific to the dates and the mocks that I'll be taking and all that, right? Now, industry related risk. There are a number of key risk areas which most events management businesses are facing. So risk is always there, guys. Risk in every business, risk in every industry. Worsening national economic conditions, again, pestle point, right? Again, a pestle point. So worsening economic conditions that could lead you towards it, right? And high levels of inflation with Harlan, increasing interest rates, right? So you can relate, right? Every Pakistani here can relate, because we live in kind of that situation. We lived that situation. And possible impacts, reduce demand for events, right? Because if there's an inflation, if there's a higher interest rates, no one would be wanting the events. In fact, I can relate, like of the post-COVID, when the things were not good, our organization always give us an outbreak for at least a week to the northern areas. But for the 3 years, like the day I joined the organization, and the COVID arise, and after 3 years, till 3 years, there was no events being celebrated, or no outbreaks being given, or the no travel being given prior to me, there were 10 consecutive years in which this celebration was done. So everyone was saying that at the time you have arrived and we are not seeing this. So what happens that your country is not good. So owner thinks of it that if I arrange these festivities for these people, and if I got a sudden breakdown or the lockdown or the breakdown of demand of kind of these things, so there's an issue. So therefore, the demand for events automatically gets declined uh, if you have particularly worsening economic conditions, right? Environmental issues, again, the same thing. Environmental issues is a simple thing, right? That your weather conditions, your climate change, your awareness of environmental impacts, your regulation here, guys, right? Your regulation here, these particularly are the facts. These particularly are the facts that impacts the events. If you make the laws of events strange and particularly so much comprehensive, so there's a lesser chance that people gets involved in that, right? So regulatory issues related to environment, any penalties if they have been charged, so again there's a less likely chances that the events will be played or made, right? So canceled and delayed events, and similarly reputational harm as well. Like if you're damaging environment, think of a company who is damaging environment via their event. If they are damaging the environment via their event, so it ultimately means that they are particularly getting a bad reputation. So doing an event, incurring a cost, and apart from that, we are getting harmed by environmental regulation, and if any pressure group arises, right? So again, the regulatory particular concerns could arise, right? So what can be the possible requirement? The possible requirement for these risks is simple, and what it is, it's possible requirement for these risks is simple, and what is it? That what's the consequence and what's the control, right? So the requirement here is what's the consequences of these risks, right? And how to control. Okay? How to control. Then we have health and safety regulation, data security, stringent employee rights. These are also the risks, right? Employee turnover needs to be think of or needs to be thought of. I don't know whether they have given it or not, but employee turnover should be asked as well. Would give us a great idea, right? The health and safety legislation, data security and protection regulation, stringent employee rights, right? Sometimes the employee is not particularly satisfied with the event management payments and event management remuneration and the timings as well. Sometimes the events are of morning, sometimes it's of a late night. So the employees are not that much satisfied. Similarly, if there's a highly regulated, so increased cost of compliance and anything in which costs increases, demand gets declined, right? In anything, if cost increases, the demand gets declined, right? So employment disputes we have, and apart from that, yeah, and operational issues now in which they have given you a cyber security attack as well. So guys, I believe the software related issue or the cyber security related issue, the IT that I told, in which cyber security measures can come separately, and tackling consequences also, like your cost as well. What will be the cost to it? What will be the impact on business if any bad thing happens? So these are kind of cases they might test, right? Or they might make a case for it as well, and they can test as well here, right? So increased risk of cybersecurity attack, in which reputational harm is there, possible litigation, revenue threats, system obsolescence. This is the major issue that in your, like, if your antivirus gets expired, for example, if your antivirus that you have installed, it gets expired. So what will happen? Simple. Nothing will happen, right? So what will happen? Nothing is going to happen because you have to get a new one, right? So these are the risks that we face and the impacts. Now, what you can test, what you can get a test from here is that what will be the consequences of it. So you have to write that. Similarly, what will be the controlling procedures of it? And sometimes they might test the test of control, although it's probably an audit related topic, so might not get tested that much, the TOC, but implications and any particular risk that expedite, they can make a scenario of it as well. Like there's a cyber attack and all the details of have been gone, the messages have been sent. So this can be the case as well, right? Case related cyber attack can be made in the exhibit, right? This is also a scenario in which case related cyber attack can be made. Okay. Now, tech innovations, right? Similarly, tech innovation is very increasing. The reason is virtual meetings or virtual events are increasing, right? Virtual events are increasing. So in technological events, innovation, virtual events are increasing. So the demand for this is increasing, right? So tech innovation is mandatory for every entity, right? So let's see what's written here. So there are several tech innovations relating to events management, which are directly impacting the industry with Harlan. These includes live streaming of events, AI, navigating and mapping applications, and QR codes. So this is particularly the tech things going on in the industry, right? Tech things going on in the industry. Now let's each and everything. Let's discuss each and everything that they want or they have given here. So there are several tech innovations. Developments in tech include provision of internet-enabled live streaming of events, which is used when managing virtual events, right? And so far, what I have seen in today's world, the hit is live plus online. Like if someone wants to attend this event live, they should come. Otherwise, the other ones can attempt it online. So this particular product is also a hit, right? So it can be a new product if someone is not offering. So it can give you a new business or new particular customer base, right? So in tech innovations, the first thing that you should be having is streaming. If I'm going live, I should be having a good internet. Otherwise, there's no benefit of going live at all, right? Then we have AI. Now, what's AI? AI can be used to interrogate and analyze to identify patterns and trends which are likely to become the future events. This can help events to gain and sustain competitive advantage. And now, this is the thing to focus on, right, guys? This is the thing to focus on. What's that? What's that? It's simple that if you have AI, right? So it can be a predictor, right? It can be a predictor to identify patterns and trends which are likely to become features of future events. Did you know about an idea that was given that employee needs to be initiative or employee needs to be innovative, right? Did you remember this idea? So that means we can use AI for innovation as well, and that's mandatory, right? We can use AI for innovation, and that's mandatory. We can use AI for innovation, and that's mandatory, I guess, for future, and this will get mandatory for future because customer requires innovation, and sometimes the human capacity is not that much, so that they can particularly get innovative, right? Sometimes the human capacity is not that much, so they can particularly get innovative. So therefore, what they have to do, they have to make sure that they have a certain system which creates the patterns, that these are the features that customer are demanding or customer will demand, right? So this is, I guess, the game changer. If someone has this, or if someone develops this, will be winning the race, right? If someone's have this, or if someone's uh is developing this, so this will win the race, right? Then we have navigating systems. Now, what's that? It's basically finding the venue and using your smart devices and maps, reducing the need for local signage and physical venue guides at events. Now, I don't remember that now there is a physical value venue guides. I don't remember that whether the event management team has that, because everyone has the Google map, right? So what they do, they just put on the location, they just map with the car's LEDs doing the location things, and then you are driving smoothly and going towards your event, right? So mapping devices, why not giving location rather than on Google Map? An event must have their mapping navigation, and they should be adding a particular list of people invited in this event, and that app just shares the locations and whoever else is invited. So they must be having the exact updates on that event, right? They must be having an exact updates on that event, and on the things that what exactly you must be, where exactly you must be reaching, right? So where exactly you must be reaching should be uh, given through the event management rather than the general Google. And the thing is that you should be particularly, rather than focusing on this application, you should be controlling the guests, right? You should be focusing on that how your location can be easily traced by the guests, right? So reducing the need, it's simply by smart devices and mapping apps. There are certain mapping apps, Google apps, I remember Google Map, I remember Apple Maps, so these are the ones, right? And QR codes, what's that? It's particularly a website page and the scheduled event. Yeah, if someone event management have the website, they can update there that what's our event, so someone can go there and have an idea. Yeah, so my event is being managed by there, right? And allow registrations. QR codes can also be used as a secure method of access to events when included part of the ticket. Yeah, and the best thing is, like if I bought a ticket, let's say I was in last 2 months, I was in Saudi, and there was a metro train in which I was traveling. So they didn't give me a physical ticket. They just gave me a online ticket and a QR code, and that QR code was scanned, and I was permitted to the train. Now, what's that? It's simply that through this you can eliminate the need of manual work, right? Through this, you can eliminate the need of manual work, as everyone would be guided, everyone would be tracked, everyone would be allowed, those who have this QR, right? Everyone would be guided, everyone would be made, and everyone would be allowed who have particularly these QRs, right? So this is the thing related to tech innovations. Any questions if you have, you can ask, right? So guys, the KPIs are particularly to this event management industry. Now, what's that? So it's irrespective of size and segments, they use similar KPIs. So there aren't any different KPIs, right? So there aren't any different KPIs. There are kind of the similar KPIs in this industry. manage their financial and non-financial performance. The most common KPIs used is fee income growth. So it's a simple number of particularly growth, like what we earned in the last year and what we earned in this year. And I would, being manager, I'll be also looking the growth by product, like which of the product is grown, and growth by client, right? Like which of the client has grown. So they have also mentioned that individual client. Oh, they have mentioned that product, that's event type, and the client. See, the skeptical person works like this. Similarly, OPM, operating margin, again by client and by type. So the thing that I've been teaching from the first part, that you need to have a separate numbers for product-wise growth, product-wise analysis, client-wise growth, client-wise analysis. So I believe they're also looking the same. And if they're catering each and everything differently with the things that I've been saying from the first part, I believe that there could be an analytical requirement as well. I believe that there could be analytical requirement as well regarding, right, clients, products, which will ask you which to pursue, which to stop, right? So they could give you a requirement regarding analysis of their business. It's simply a requirement. I'll be saying that it's simply a requirement, analysis of products. This could be a requirement. This will be a simple one, right? You guys are ACCAs. You have done skills level. Then these were the financial KPIs. Obviously, suggest more KPIs. I'll be suggesting more KPIs, like for example, KPIs on cost. If they ask you that our financial analysis is limited, so you can add on more KPIs, like what's your cost? Similarly, the staff seems to be particularly upset, so staff retention rate, but that's I believe a non-financial KPI, right? Then tender success rate. Yeah, how many tenders you have won? That's particularly the case, right? And in our reviews, our VP asks regularly that whether we won that tender or not. Although I belong to a pharmaceutical sector, and there are the highest number of tenders in this business. So it was closely monitored that which tenders we are winning, and we win by a margin of 1 or 2 rupees, right? Like it was a really less margin or really less prices that we have quoted, right? So number of successful tenders as a proportion of total tender invitations, right? And now see the formula. You won tenders and tender invitation, right? Won tenders and tenders invitation. This is particularly the case, right? Then client satisfaction. The thing is how they measure. This is an important. So the measurement is here. The client satisfaction. The measurement of client satisfaction is here. Like what's the retention rate? What's the referrals? What's the feedback they have given you here? So this is how. Although the probability of that, we need the probability of these three is we need, like, let's say retention is 50%, referrals is 25, and that's 25. So that means if anyone is giving us marks in these three, they'll be multiplied with these probability. So you get EV, like what's your expected value of client satisfaction? Because I teach costing as well, APM as well. So I need to give you this picture that in this client retention, client referrals, client feedback, you should be having a particular probabilities as well. I don't know whether they would have given you in the future or in the next particular pages, but I believe that client satisfaction is determined in this. So the probability of these, or the emphasis of these three factors on the satisfaction should be there. And then there is an environmental KPI, in which percentage waste recycle, water consumption, energy efficiency, these are your KPIs. So giving the KPIs. Obviously, you need to suggest more KPIs, just like tailor-made KPIs as well, CSR KPIs as well. You have to comment that. But the thing is that if they have given you the KPIs, guys, if they have given you the KPIs, there's a highly likely chance of performance measurement, right? There's a highly likely chance of performance measurement. Guys, the pitch of this question is that if I'm making a list of questions, what's that? So similar requirements in the past cases of SBL. If you don't have, I have all the cases. I have from the first day the SBL's paper in September 18 attempt, the co-fold construction, till now, the papers they have released, I have the summary of that as well. You have to trace down the similar requirements, right? In fact, I'll be doing in the mock as well. I'll be taking on these type of requirements and making a scenario, right? So the reason is this paper has now become easy because you are aware of industry, you are aware of the things they can test. You just have to practice it accordingly. And performance measurement is a clear cut here, guys. It's a clear cut thing here. Now, businesses operating in Harland are supported by an industry body, the IEO. So there's an industry as well. Oh, great, right? There's a regulatory body as well, I believe, huh? So it's fine. And which represents events management businesses. The IEO aims to improve quality, health, safety, and all members of technical standards. So that means it's a simple professional body to monitor the events and particularly the certainties. So monitoring of events, right? So guys, I guess I have analyzed the complete industry now. And in the content table, we can see that we have done overview, events management, collaboration, industry-related risk, technological events, and industry body. So we have done that, and probably in the next two sessions, in one, I'll be covering these three things, or let's say these three things, and in last, I'll be covering these things, right? So hopefully we'll cover in the next two parts. And by reading the requirements so far, I have analyzed these are the topics they can be tested. And if these are the topics they can test, so this is a high chance that you should be preparing on similar requirements. Guys, at last, I'll be saying that I'm conducting a crash course, which obviously is analysis of complete pre-scene, which will be posted on YouTube as well. But the things which won't be posted and which you need to subscribe for is that I'll be giving a guess of questions, that's mocks as well. Three latest exam will be solved by me, in which two I'll be solving, one you will solve, and I'll mark it for you. And then at last, I'll be conducting two mocks, and that will be based on this pre-scene. That means event management particular entity, right? And at last, I'll be giving industry insights. Like you should be knowing more on the industry. Well, you know more than enough, I believe, but I'll be giving that as well. So guys, if you want to ace this paper, either you can see the YouTube material that I have posted. Otherwise, you can subscribe for the crash course. And so far, this is all from my side. See you in the next sessions where I'll be discussing this complete company and I'll be guessing more questions as well. Thank you.